Good morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m. Thanks for watching WGRZ Plus, where Daybreak is streaming through 9:30 this morning. Wet, slushy snow out there right now, Patrick, right?
That's what's going on. Yeah, we're kind of a combination of snow and rain, and even the snow that's up here is really, really slushy. We are going to see a transition, as we've been mentioning all morning long, Melissa, from a snow now to a snow-rain mix, which is actually occurring now, and then to rain as we head into the late morning, early afternoon, and then back to snow. You can kind of see that transition happening now. Many areas still getting snow, but near the lakeshore, it is turning to rain. Now we're up to, we're climbing, it looks like, up to 34 degrees. We go through time, numbers get even warmer, close to 40. We transition to snow, and then this evening we go back to transition from snow to rain and then back to snow as temperatures then fall again. For tomorrow, looks like we'll see some snow showers. Much colder tomorrow with temperatures in the 20s. We'll see the snow showers continuing into Thursday. Drier weather on Friday. However, Friday evening we'll begin to see some lake effect snow develop, and that could take us into Saturday. So there's your weekend forecast. 20s on Saturday, low 20s on Sunday. So it is going to get colder with some snow showers this weekend. And as you can see, temperatures stay cold through the weekend and into early next week. Long range charts so suggest it does begin to warm up by the middle of next week, Melissa.
All right, Patrick, so any dry time at all today, or is it going to be really?
No, it's sloppy all day.
Okay, good to know. Thank you. And we want to check on Lance Mellon now with traffic and see how that sloppy weather, as Patrick puts it, is affecting the morning commute. It was a pretty rough one out there for a time. Lance, what's going on now?
Yeah, absolutely, Melissa. You know, we had a ton of problem spots. The 33 was bad for a while. The 190 South is still in pretty rough shape, but now it seems like the 290 West specifically is giving us our most issues. It could be a little slicker on the 290, especially through the Tonawanda area. This spin out just happened maybe about 5 to 10 minutes ago. A single vehicle that's slipped, and now they're perpendicular to the roadway. This is westbound right near the Gulf Dome, so they're blocking that right lane in that spot. And then just beyond that accident is an additional accident blocking the left lane. You can see here towards the right, that is also westbound just before the 190 where we had that earlier issue that lasted all morning. This is a separate one. Now, yeah, sitting on that shoulder, partially blocking that left lane. So 2 spots to plan ahead for in Tonawanda, and it's amazing. We still have that vehicle off the roadway on the 290 West. They're going to need to be winched out, but they've been there for almost 2 hours just before Main Street at the bottom of your screen. And still, you can see the congestion eastbound. Nothing causing that, just typical morning volume and slower travel because of the snow from Millersport Highway all the way to the Blue Water Tower.
Seems like just a lot of looky-loos over there who are slowing things down to see that car off the road and the flashing lights there. But Lance, even later on this evening, even if the snow is turning to rain, as Patrick and Storm Team 2 is saying, it's probably going to be messy out there too. It only takes a couple people, as you know, to kind of slow things down all throughout Western New York. You were showing us a lot of things up in the north towns where there's issues. Anything going on in the south towns at all? 219, 400, anything like that?
Yeah, you know, those were pretty slow all morning. It seems like there has been some improvement. Our traffic flows on the Southern Tier Expressway, the 90 through Chautauqua County, the 400 through East Aurora and Elma, those were all a mess. It seems like they are starting to at least increase in speed. I mean, folks are traveling a little easier in those spots, but still, I mean, the slick roadways, I don't have any reports of any current spin-outs or accidents, but it's still going to take a while for those to clear out. Hopefully that rain coming in will wash some of the snow away, but still, yeah, you want to be extra cautious south of Buffalo in those areas.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Lance Mellon, thanks so much for all of your help this morning, and we will see you tomorrow morning here on Daybreak. Thank you. And the winter weather is here to stay, so be sure to stick with Storm Team 2. You can download the 2 on Your Side app for the 7-day forecast, live radar, and weather impact alerts as well. If you haven't already, it's free to download on your smartphone's app store. And topping the news this morning, we're working to learn more about a big fire that happened in North Java in Wyoming County early this morning. Plenty of flashing lights, firefighters, police there because of this huge fire that broke out at a warehouse. It's the Riesdorf Brothers warehouse, which makes food for livestock. And our photojournalist at the scene spoke with police. They confirmed that they did put the fire out, but it did prompt a huge response from multiple fire companies. We're waiting to learn more details, and learn out exactly how much damage was done and if there were any injuries, and we'll bring you all of that information as soon as we learn it, and we will of course update you on Channel 2 News midday at 11 a.m. on Channel 2. Well, this morning 5 people are without a home, and investigators are looking for the cause of a fire in the Seneca Babcock neighborhood. Fire crews found the fire burning at the 2-story home on Gilbert Street in Buffalo just before 6:30 last night. The fire spread throughout the home, causing about $300,000 in damage, according to authorities. And they say the Red Cross is now helping 2 adults who lived in the home's front apartment and 3 adults who lived in the rear apartment. And we're also learning more about the man who's facing charges in connection to the shooting of New York Jets cornerback Chris Boyd. Frederick Green, who's from the Bronx, was found at his girlfriend's apartment near UB North on Monday, and he was taken into custody there by U.S. Marshals. Here's what investigators are telling us. They say Boyd and Green got into a fight outside of a restaurant in Manhattan last month, and that led to gunfire. 2 shots were fired. Investigators say Green left New York City and cut his hair so it would be harder to find him. They say the 20-year-old suspect was staying at his girlfriend's apartment at University Village at Sweet Home Apartments. Green's girlfriend, according to authorities, is not connected to the incident, and Green is now facing charges for attempted murder, assault, and criminal possession of a weapon. Boyd was initially in critical condition, but he is now recovering. The federal death penalty case for the top mass shooter will be back in a Buffalo courtroom later this morning. This comes 1 week after court documents revealed that Peyton Gendron allegedly told 65 people online about his intention to commit the attack a half hour before the shooting happened at the Tops on Jefferson Avenue in 2022. During prior court hearings in this case, prosecutors and the defense argued whether certain pieces of evidence should or could be used in court. It's unclear if Gendron himself will actually be making an appearance in court today. Buffalo police are now starting their second phase of their foot patrol program. Over the past 6 months, officers have been getting to know neighbors and handing out traffic receipts instead of traffic tickets. And 2 on your side's Alexandra Rios Melvia joined a patrol and shares more.
Buffalo Police Lieutenant Maurice Foster didn't expect the foot patrol to change him.
There you go.
But 6 months and 30 pounds later, he says walking the beat has reshaped not just his health, but how he sees the community he serves.
Because it's unfortunate that the nature of our job is most of the people we deal with are in crisis, and we only get to see about 2% of who they really are. The walking unit allows us to see them in, ideal conditions, just talking like you and I would talk. So it just creates better conversation and better understanding.
Thanks so much. Yeah, thanks.
Lieutenant Foster is one of the leaders of Buffalo's Foot Patrol Integration Unit, created to rebuild trust, improve visibility, and literally walk every street in the city. These officers don't just pass through, they stop.
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
They talk,
And if you have any concerns or issues that we can assist you with?
and some days they get hugs from business owners.
Still praying for you.
The change is already showing up in small moments on the street.
Been in the area, for instance, outside of this Walgreens, a lady was having a panic attack. And we walked right on her, we were able to get the medical assistance she needed.
More than 3,000 residents filled out surveys guiding where police officers walk, and all of this data is now public. Residents told the city where they needed help. That feedback shaped patrol routes and kicked off phase 2, where officers walk the first half of the routes and then patrol in their cars in areas with reported complaints.
And then we're able to do traffic stops, but what we've been doing is instead of giving tickets, we've been giving traffic receipts, it may seem trivial, but it's really done a lot because there's been a time where we've given a lot of tickets and it's soured the drivers.
Some residents say the return of walking patrols reminds them of how things used to be and hope this foot patrol program continues even after the new Sean Ryan administration takes office in January.
I think this is a good policy. The more they can do it, the better. I don't think it's going to hurt anything.
That was Alexandra Rios Melvia reporting. Stay with us. We've got a lot more coming up right after the break. Welcome back. If you watched Sunday's Bills game, you know Josh Allen had another standout performance in the second half of the game to take the lead and win against the Bengals. I love that one of our producers wrote he was dashing through the snow. That's what Josh was doing all game. And with the playoffs right around a corner, there is no doubt that all eyes are on the reigning NFL MVP. Allen will have to show out, though, against Patriots quarterback Drake May, both of whom are top contenders for next year's MVP. We saw Drake May in Week 5 handing the Bills the first loss of the season. They only lost by a field goal. But now Bobby Babich and his defense are getting ready for the second time around with a better idea of what to expect.
He's just more comfortable. He's in complete control. He's playing confident. I can't remember. I just looked at it. His completion percentage is extremely high, so obviously he's playing accurate pass game football. And I just think you just see a guy that's in year 2, who's extremely talented and just doing really good things.
And May has been sacked 40 times this season, including 4 times by the Bills earlier this season. The Bills and the Patriots, by the way, play at 1 p.m. on Sunday. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling?
First of all, this Drake May is no one-trick pony. I mean, he's the real deal, I think. Earlier in the season, they're like, okay, maybe this is a fluke. But he's been playing well all season against teams without great quarterbacks. Like,
right.
We've been playing teams with great quarterbacks.
Yes.
They haven't.
That's how the NFL structures it, is that the low-ranked teams get the easier schedule going into the next year. And that's what you saw, is that the Bills have a really tough schedule and the Patriots had a pretty easy schedule.
Yeah.
So are they this 11-2 team?
It's hard to measure when you don't play a great schedule. However, they've got an amazing coach. They lost 2 games, I believe, early in the season, obviously. I wonder who they lost to. Anyway, I don't know. I think this is going to be a tough challenge. You've got Stephon Diggs, of course, who, by the way, had a huge game against the Bills. In other games, he has not been as prolific as
What
he was.
about Footless guy? What's his
Matt Collins.
Matt Collins.
Yeah, well, you know what? Check his life hack that he probably posted recently.
No, I love it. I still follow him for the life hacks. They're very helpful.
They're like how to fold bed sheets.
Right.
They're really funny.
How to clean your dishwasher.
I don't know if you know this, but Matt Collins does these life hacks on Instagram, and they're videos that are just house chores that he makes easy. Really funny. Well, we didn't see much of him, though, when we played them. I don't know.
A little bit. Do you know what the spread is?
I think it's 1.
The Bills are 1.5-point favorites.
Right. Wow.
Coming up. And that's on the road. So, yeah, it sounds close. But, I mean, to be a favorite going up against this 11-2 team that's leading the division. I'm sure the NFL's very unhappy also that they put this as a 1 o'clock game and that it wasn't a flex game, because you can imagine that this would be a huge Sunday night game or a Monday night game.
Okay. So thank you, Milton. They lost to the Raiders and the Steelers. Raiders are awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup. Again, the quarterback does not have the experience yet, Drake May, of playing in a really big game yet. So maybe that turns the tide a little bit, because this is huge. I mean, they win and then they get the division.
Sure. All right. Well, Sunday's game, this past Sunday's game, also highlighted some major issues for the Bills' defense. The third down was just atrocious.
Right.
7 of the Bengals' 10 conversions were on 3rd and 5 or longer. And it's something that the D-line is really struggling with this season, and now placed 23rd in the league on 3rd down at over 41%. So here's what Bobby Babich and Sean McDermott had to say about the poor play in this area on Sunday.
The 3rd down, it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that, all combined into one. And we've been pretty clean in that area. We just got to get back on track as far as making sure guys are doing their jobs and understanding what we're trying to accomplish by each call.
All in all, we need to do a better job of our level of execution there, and you want to get it to a spot where you're able to get off the field. I thought 1st and 2nd down was not the issue really in the first half. In particular, it was 3rd down, to your point, and way too many converted 3rd down. So that's an important part for us as a football team, to be able to get off the field on 3rd down, and how well we can rush and affect the quarterback, and then certainly cover on top of that.
And New England is 8th in the NFL offensively on 3rd down, so the Bills' defense will be tested in this area once again this weekend. We'll weather be an issue at all?
That is a great question. In fact, I communicate with the Bills for weather, help. And
Yeah, they need to know how to pack.
Yeah, and I told them what I will tell you right now, and that is there is a chance this could be a wintry game, okay? There is an area, the reason we're gonna have cold and lake effect snow here over the weekend is a system that's gonna be moving through New England. If it moves out to sea really quickly, it's just a cold, blustery game. If it hugs the coast a little bit more closely, there could be some rain and snow. And right now, the guidance that we look at flip-flop back and forth every computer model run.
I'm sure the Bills guys love hearing that from you.
I know.
What's it going to be like? I don't know.
Now sometimes you can outthink a weather model and say, okay, this is what should happen. But there's there's no evidence that suggests one scenario is better than the other. So it's going to be colder, okay? And there could be... How wishy-washy is this? There could be some snow, or there could not be some snow. It will. Hey,
at least the Bills practiced in snow last week.
That's right, and it will be rather breezy.
By practicing, I mean by playing a game.
By playing, yeah.
A game
yeah, and who knows if Drake May's... No, he hasn't played in the snow yet. I mean, it hasn't snowed in New England for a game, I don't believe. So, yeah, I will we'll have a better handle on this tomorrow, but I'm just being honest.
And folks from Buffalo driving to New England and to Foxborough, if they're leaving like Friday or Saturday.
We're going to have...
probably leaving Friday.
Friday you're fine.
Okay.
A little lake effect snow here Saturday, but you should be on your way by then.
Okay. And also, this is a fun story, NFL-wide.
This is crazy.
This
is huge, actually, in my opinion.
Yeah. The Colts, they're still they're only one game away from Buffalo for a wild card spot. And since Daniel Jones tore his Achilles on Sunday, the team has been put in this brutal spot with all of their top 3 QBs hurt. So now they're going back in time 5 years and signing 44-year-old Phillip Rivers to their practice squad. Now, the last time that Rivers played a game, it was actually the Colts playing the Bills, and the Colts lost to the Bills in the playoffs, and that was in January of 2021. Rivers is currently a semifinalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So if he signs to the Colts active roster, it would reset his Hall of Fame eligibility, and he'd have to wait another 5 years for that. But he is 44 years old. I say that like it's old. He's my age. But he's got 10 kids, ranging in age from 2 to 23, 7 girls and 3 boys. And that 23-year-old also recently had a baby. So that makes Phillip Rivers a grandpa.
Grandpa's going to be playing football this weekend.
Yes.
Kids.
So kids,
that's awesome.
Kids on his team will be younger than his actual kids.
That is so funny.
And can you imagine if Phillip Rivers was playing Aaron Rodgers? Their combined age would be 86, I believe.
And that game would be sponsored by AARP.
I know. And Geritol.
I know. There's other little elements to him. Apparently, this is what I've heard. He never swears. He's got 10 kids and he never swears? He never swears. So whenever there's audio of him in a game, it's like, oh, shucks.
Sugar cookies.
Sugar
darn
cookies.
It all to heck.
Darn it, right. I don't know. And apparently there's a real chance that he plays. He's being signed to the practice squad, but there's a real chance that he plays.
Yeah, they need him. Can you imagine if he just comes out
sugar cookies? I was sacked again. Sugar cookies.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. Take a look at this mansion. This is on Millionaires Row in Buffalo, and it is back on the market. 8 bedrooms, 12 baths, 29,000 square feet. You can buy the Butler Mansion for a cool $4.9 million. That's what it's listed for right now on Zillow. It's a 40-room estate at the corner of Delaware and North Street. It's now up for sale. Developer Douglas Jamal owned it, and he bought it 3 years ago for $3.72 million from the University of Buffalo's foundation. And Jamal said that he was considering several options for the property, including an office space or event center, but those plans never took shape. Jamal's selling off a lot of things, including the Boulevard Mall and lots of other buildings. A lot of promise for what Doug Jamal had here in Western New York, but this is another one that he's trying to sell off. But the Butler Mansion, people have had weddings there and events there. It's not just, You could turn it into a single-family home with 29,000 square feet.
Oh, it's that big? Oh my God.
Yeah, let me read to you real quickly. If we can maybe replay that video again of the Zillow or pull it up somehow. But anyway, the Zillow description of this is original woodwork, countless marble fireplaces. I love when they say countless, like you really can't count how many marble fireplaces are in there. Oh, thank you for playing that again. Exceptional craftsmanship throughout. The possibilities are limitless. Restore the mansion to a grand single-family residence or reimagine it as a boutique hotel. Develop executive office space or create an elegant event venue utilizing the 2 commercial-grade kitchens located in the basement. There's a carriage house. It's 29,000 square feet. Ample private parking. Guess how many parking spots there are here?
6.
53
Oh my gosh.
surface parking spaces, multiple courtyards, expansive grounds further enhance the property's presence and potential.
Any description of the above ground pool in the back?
I don't think it has one, but I think whoever buys it could
Would not be above ground.
possibly put one, the above ground pool. There's nothing wrong with an above ground pool.
No, I've had one.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, so I wonder if, in fact, oftentimes when a property goes like on sale, there's already a buyer that they are considering. So you kind of wonder if, you know.
Yeah, but it's really gone into disrepair. If you've looked, like the grounds used to be beautifully maintained right there on Delaware and North, and over the past couple of months, you've seen the bushes growing, and it's just not really taken care of right now. So there is so much potential, and so many nonprofits have also purchased some of the Millionaires Row homes and other businesses.
And private, there's
and you know, law firms,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
But it's just so grand inside, and so you hope that you know, it'll be put to good use, and it'll be fun to see what it turns into and who ends up scooping it up.
Can you imagine whoever buys it pulls up like at a U-Haul? Like, we're here. I mean, it's,
Let me just pull into one of these
how do
53
you
spaces.
furnish? I mean, a house.
Oh,
yeah, it's crazy.
It's just, I love looking at Zillow, and I've been scrolling through those pictures all morning, and it's just really fun to see.
Impressive.
Okay, a lot of people are scrolling also for holiday shopping, and artificial intelligence is quickly reshaping how people shop online. Oh, I did this too. Okay, a new survey from Content Square shows 30% of shoppers are now using AI as a personal shopping assistant, even letting it complete purchases for them. Another 21% rely on AI to hunt for deals and promotions. Not everyone is on board, though. 38% say they have no plans to use AI or they avoid it entirely. Okay. I have a friend who asked for a new Keurig for Christmas, wanting it with the carafe and single serve and so I went into ChatGPT and I said, find me the best deal on a single serve coffee maker with a carafe and give me the best reviewed ones or show me reviews. And it just pulled it right up for me. And you could get a Keurig, but you could get this and you could get this, and this one is better rated. And it was so helpful. And then I said, okay, now find them for me for under $150 because I listed some that were $400. And it's like you're having a conversation with AI to help you narrow down your shopping list. And for me, who, gosh, I mean, my wedding registry and baby registry, I mean, I had to do so much research for every single thing to make sure that it was the top rated and the best reviews and all this sort of stuff. And it took me forever to do that stuff. And so AI will do it for you.
You're really into reviews, aren't you?
Oh.
My wife, will base everything on a review. And maybe a wonderful company that gets one bad review or whatever won't go with it. Anyway, so.
Because you know how frugal I am too. So typically I want the cheapest thing. I don't want to spend a lot of money. But if I am going cheap, I need to make sure that it's at least going to work. So I will splurge a little bit more if the reviews say that this cheap one is just not worth your money. And so I need the review. I am not an impulse buyer at all. None of this surprises you whatsoever.
One of these days we're gonna get a character trait out of you that we weren't expecting. We've got to read you.
Oh yeah. And I also did it for vacuums. I mean, I'm using AI for everything now, and I absolutely love it. But you also have to make ssure that what you're looking at is, you can't believe everything that you read either, but it really does.
And by the way, how do they validate or verify reviews? I mean, for instance, if you have a restaurant, can somebody make up a bad review just to?
Of course, and
then how
most
do you-
people do not go on to give a positive review
No,
of any store or
right,
restaurant. They're
right.
only going on to give negative reviews. It's that's hard to verify. Some people might not like one feature and other people do, so it's bad for one person, but it's good for another. Reviews
And that's a very good point. If you're going to say something positive, I don't need to waste my time, or to go out of my way to really sell a product. So, interesting. So, did you get the Keurig?
I did.
You did. Phew. That's what we were all waiting for.
I buried the lead there.
The build-up was incredible.
All right, how much time do we have left? Should we do what? 45 seconds. Okay, so today, again, rainy for the evening.
No, there's, as I said, rain. It will turn back to snow.
When?
It at 5? Between like 5 and 8.
Okay. All right,
So-
and tomorrow we're looking.
And if I'm wrong, don't write a bad review.
Oh, we get those on Facebook and
I get 'em
Instagram
plenty,
all the time.
Right.
We would love people to leave nice reviews for us, too.
Right.
Okay, Patrick, thank you. No
All
weather
right.
impact alert day tomorrow. We're clear.
We may issue one for the southern tier because of heavy lake effect snow tomorrow, but I think it's going to be okay.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.